Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Well, today I'm going to be doing a little different video. Back in mid-December, I was trying to do the full review on this Snaptain SP510, and I had it out in my usual flying spot away from my subdivision here, and I took it out a ways and I turned it around. I don't remember how far out I was out. I was maybe 300 meters, and the Wi-Fi completely dropped out and froze. So I hit return to home, and well, what do you think happened? It never came back. A few days later, we had a really big snowstorm for that time of year. We had, 10 inches or so of snow, and I just assumed it was gone. A few weeks later, one of the neighbors here in the subdivision I live in posted that they found they called it a droid, their drone in their yard. So it had actually, when it didn't come back, it actually drifted because it was a really strong wind, very similar to today, from left to right. It pushed it into my subdivision and it landed in their yard. Now, it was buried underneath the snow for at least a week before that melted off. It melted off pretty quickly for that much snow, but it was buried under the snow for a week. It sat outside for at least 2 weeks before I got it back. So I was wondering, how is this drone, does it work? Can I take it up? Does it work is what I'm wondering. As you can see, it has power. I've already bound it up and connected it, and everything looks fine. I put my SD card back. I think I had a different one in it. That SD card was still good. It was sitting in it. That was what really upset me. My SD card was, I thought I lost it, but I wanted to see it. Does this thing still fly after being buried in the snow for a week and sitting outside for at least 2 weeks? I'm not going to mess with the review at this point. This drone has been reviewed by numerous channels. So at this point, I'm just wanting to say, hey, can a drone sit outside in the snow, buried at the bottom? This was at the bottom. It was sitting in the yard, and it got buried with a foot of snow practically on top of it. All that melted, all that water ran down. I can see on the, and it's going to be hard to see here, but you can see the USB connectors got some, some corrosion, or rust, I should say, not corrosion, rust on the metal. So you can tell it set out in the water. But let's see if this thing will fly. Just get some sample footage, see if the camera is any good still. As far as I can tell, the camera looks fine in my Wi-Fi feed here. So it didn't ask me to do a compass calibration, so we'll hopefully don't need to do one. Usually they want you to do it every time, but it said nothing about it. You shouldn't have to do a compass calibration every flight. I just don't remember. I have everything for this drone, except I don't know where the instruction manual is. That's another reason why doing a full review would not be the best. And I could watch my buddy's videos, though. John Coopy reviewed this, and I can't remember if David did or not. I'm sure that Donnie did over Big Drone Flyer 77. So check out their channels if you want to see a full review on this drone. I just want to see, will a drone fly after being outside and stuck under a foot of snow for a week? The antennas are not folded up because these are fake. I've had 2 comments recently. People want to know why either I didn't fold it or called me an idiot because I didn't fold up, I didn't have them out. But in my opinion, if you put fake antennas out, I look more like an idiot than putting them up, than leaving them down, I should say. So it's very windy today, so I'm not going to fly this drone very far because that's why I lost it last time. I'm going to keep it close, assuming it flies. Let's see if it flies. So I'll start recording video again with the app. At the very least, that'll be saved to my phone. It's not that big a deal. We're not looking for anything more to see if it works. And then do both sticks. I think it was down and in. Oh, they fired up. That's good. And do auto takeoff. Oh, let's try that again. I think you just have to give it throttle. I think that auto takeoff may just only land because they just fired the motors down. Well, it's holding position. It's working. Hopefully we got video recorded, but if not, you guys can see it flies. A week sitting under the snow, and it wasn't like it was a little dusty in the snow. It was buried for a week. Set outside, all that water, mud, moisture. Now it does have a camera tilt here. Let's see if the camera tilt still works. See if I tilting it down. I may be tilting it back up. Looks like it's tilting down. Yeah, the camera tilt definitely works. Yeah, cool. So yeah, if you got a drone, you know, obviously not every drone's the same, but this SP510 can sit outside for a couple of weeks buried under the snow, and it still works. You know, the brushed motors, I'm not at all surprised that those those are able to keep working. And motors are not really hurt by that. I was more worried, you know, did the camera get water inside the lens, or did it burn just the control board and flight controller? I mean, that's what I'm most concerned about. So yeah, it flies fine now. This, you can see even right there, it took off with this wind at its back, and it was not easy to get it back. So I'm not gonna fly it around a bunch and do return to home tests. And this isn't a review. It's gonna do just like last time. It was a very similar day. It flew out just fine, but when the Wi-Fi dropped off, it could not fight this kind of wind and make it back home, and it just ended up getting blown away. Only weird thing is I don't know why the darn app stopped showing it was recording whenever I was, a while ago it was doing it every time. That's weird. I'm pretty impressed that it was able to survive that. And the thing is I didn't have any extra batteries with this drone. A lot of Snaptain drones come with extra batteries. This one just comes with one. So I'm using the battery that was buried out there. So that battery drained all the way down and turned itself off. And maybe it's sort of a smart battery in terms that it has an indicator light on it, but you know, it doesn't have any kind of self-discharge or anything. I mean, it just would have ran down and everything turned itself off when it got to probably a super low voltage. It seems like the battery's fine. I mean, I still got full battery meter in the app here. So I was really concerned that either the drone was going to be fried or that the battery just wouldn't work. And I thought I had an extra battery, then I remember, oh right, this is the one that only has one battery. So I'm using the battery that's set outside. So I got this back, you know, sometime around New Year's, and I've had it now, you know, sitting in the house for a month, and I just now got some downtime, and it's warm today. So I thought, why not just see if this thing still flies? So let's do an auto landing here. Oop, I cut the motors. Well, that won't hurt it. I held this in too long. Let's try that again, because I think I did the auto motor cut off there. I'm sure that was my fault, guys. Again, I don't have the instruction manual, so let's go ahead and take it back up. I held the auto landing button in too long, I believe. Let's just do a quick press. Let's see if it comes down. Yeah. So long press is emergency motor kill. Of course, I was not up high enough to hurt the drone. It really is having difficulty with this wind. The wind gusts keep picking it up and it can't feel the ground. So like I said, I don't have the instruction manual, so if I look like I'm a bit clueless, it's because all these drones are different. So I'm just trying to, you know, I don't remember from when I was doing the review 6 weeks ago or so, all that stuff. Let me go ahead and stop recording the video. So we hopefully got that saved. All right, guys, that wraps up this test on this drone. It did really well. Not good conditions to fly today and do any kind of more in-depth flight because of the wind, but hey, it flies. And it was buried under snow for a week and set outside for at least a good 2 weeks. It might have even been closer to 3 weeks. I don't remember how long after the snow had melted that I saw that post on the local subdivision Facebook page. All right, guys, that wraps up the test here on this drone after being buried in the snow. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and click the bell so you know whenever I do upload new videos. If you've got any kind of questions about this drone, you know, feel free to ask, or go visit my buddy's videos and reviews on it. And as always, guys, have a wonderful day.
The power of the dark side.